Unit 4 test review, number 1. So they want us to find out if which one of these points is a solution. So what I could do is plug them in to the equations and work them out that way, but I may have to do that 4 times. So the fastest way probably is just to solve it. And these are both set up pretty nice for substitution. So I'll go ahead and do that and say that, you know, they're both equal to y, so I'm going to take this one and put it right there into that y. So I'll say negative 3x minus 10 equals 2x plus 5. I'll subtract 2x to both sides. And I get negative 5x minus 10 equals 5. I'll add 10 to both sides. And I get negative 5x equals 15. Divide by negative 5. And x equals negative 3. So I could go back and plug in, but I look at the multiple choice and I realize there's only one with an x of negative 3, so the answer has to be C. Okay. Number 2 says that they want us to name where f of x and g of x are equal. That's where the lines cross, so that is point B. B asks us they want the y-intercept for f of x. So here's f of x, and the y-intercept for that one is D. They want the x-intercept for g, which is C. Okay. And they want us to give us all the points on f of x where f of x is less than g of x. Okay. So what you got to realize with this is you have to look at it from the same x input, so you got to look at it vertically. So like, for example, I'll look at A and D. Well, if I look at A and D, D is smaller on f of x, so it's D. Okay, so is E. Okay, but if I look at point C, the f of x would be bigger for the same x value, so it's only going to be D and E. Okay. Number 3, when looking at this one, I go, okay, well, I want to write the inequality. Okay, so I'm going to do it in what is kind of like y equals mx plus b, but it's not equal because it's an inequality. So I'm going to kind of set it up here. So I'm going to list the information, the b and the m. Okay, so the b is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And the slope, so I got to pick 2 points. So I'll pick these 2 points. I'll draw a triangle right in here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, down 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4 over 4 spaces. So the slope is negative 3 over 4. So I'll get that set up. Okay. Now the question is just how does the inequality work? Well, it's a dotted line, so there's no or equals to. I'm shading above the line, so that makes the y's bigger. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Find my b and my m, my y-intercept and my slope. So my y-intercept is positive 2. My slope is 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay. So my slope is 3x, or 3, and then my y-intercept is 2. It's a solid line, so I have an or equal to. I just got to figure out the inequality part now. And is it less than? We shaded below the line, so that means the y's are less than. Going on to the next page. They want me to write a system of inequalities and get the solution. So let's do one at a time here. I'll call this one, f of x, and this one g of x, just so I kind of make it easier to talk about. But you could just use y's for both. But f of x is equal to, so the y-intercept is negative 1. Okay, the y-intercept is negative 1, and the slope, if I pick 2, I'll pick this point and that point. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. So the slope is 4 over 2, or just 2x plus, sorry, in this case it'd be minus 1. Like I said, you could use a y. but I'm just doing it so I can make it easier to see the two equations. So for this one, g of x has a y-intercept of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got a b of 5, positive. The slope, so I'll use this point and that point, so it's down 2 over 2. So that's negative 1. And there's my two equations. The answer, or the solution, is where they actually cross at. So that's 2, 3, the coordinate point 2, 3. Okay. So I'll come over here and I'll start with the solution this time. And this one is negative 2, 0. Okay. And I'll call this one h of x and this one t of x, just to use some different letters. So if I want to set up the equation for h of x, I'm going to say that its y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll use these 2 points, so the slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So I'm going to go up 1. So if I draw the triangle on this side, I'm going to go up 4 and over 2. So that means the slope is really just 4 over 2. Okay, so the slope is 2. And then for t of x, or my other equation, the y-intercept is negative 2. And the slope, if I go from here to here, is down 2 over 2. And that slope is also negative 1. Okay, and it's minus 2. All right.